Get out. Veronica froze mid-sentence. I'm sorry? Se Kyung-won's eyes were locked on her face, but not on her eyes, on her mouth. I said get out. She didn't move. Sir, if I've done something... He crossed the space between them in 2 strides, grabbed her wrist. Not rough, not gentle, just possessive. Who kissed you? Her breath stopped. What? There's a mark, right here. His other hand lifted, thumb brushing her lip with terrifying precision. Who kissed you? She stared at him, shocked, confused, furious. That's none of your... It is now. And in that moment, Veronica understood. Her boss wasn't asking, he was claiming. Hey family, before this story takes you somewhere dangerous, I need you to do something. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Your comments, they fuel these stories. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because what happens next will make you question everything you thought you knew about control. He finally stepped back, turned toward the window, hands in his pockets, shoulders rigid. Veronica exhaled slowly, tried to steady herself. Are we done here, Mr. Say? No. Then what? Leave. She blinked. Excuse me? I said leave. His voice was flat now, empty. Meeting's over. She didn't argue. She gathered her files, moved toward the door, felt his eyes on her the entire time. Her hand touched the handle. Veronica? She stopped, didn't turn around. Yes? Silence stretched between them like a warning. Lock the door on your way out. She frowned. You never lock. Tonight I do. She glanced back. He was still facing the window, but his reflection showed something she'd never seen before. Vulnerability. She left, locked the door, walked down the empty hallway with her heart pounding and her mind racing, because Se Kyung-won didn't lose control. He didn't touch people. He didn't ask questions that mattered. But tonight, he did all 3. Inside the office, Kyung-won stood alone. He'd spent 15 years building an empire on one principle: emotion is weakness. He didn't feel jealousy, didn't feel possessiveness, didn't feel anything that could be used against him. But that mark on her lip, uneven, intimate, recent, it burned in his mind like evidence of something he couldn't control. He pulled out his phone, typed a message to his head of security. Run background on Veronica Andrews. Full surveillance. Discreet. He stared at the text. His thumb hovered over send. This was wrong. This was a violation. This was... He sent it, and immediately felt something unfamiliar twist in his chest. Guilt. He set the phone down, rubbed his face, and whispered into the empty room. What are you doing? No answer, just the city lights beyond the glass and the faint ghost of her perfume still lingering in the air. Veronica didn't go home. She sat in her car in the parking garage, hands still shaking. She'd worked for Seo Kyung-won for 3 years. 3 years of professionalism, distance, respect. And tonight he touched her face like she belonged to him. She pulled down the visor mirror, stared at the faint red mark on her lower lip. It wasn't lipstick. It was from a kiss she didn't want, from a man who thought proximity to Kyung-won gave him power over her. She'd handled it, stayed calm, stayed professional. But now Kyung-won noticed, and men like him didn't notice things by accident. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Your office is being moved tomorrow, closer to the executive floor. Security protocol. No signature, but she knew who sent it. She typed back, I didn't agree to this. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then, you don't have to. She stared at the screen. This wasn't protocol. This was control. And for the first time since she started working for him, she wondered if she'd made a terrible mistake. Not in taking the job, but in letting him see her as anything other than invisible. The security report arrived at 6 a.m. Kyungwon opened it with his coffee, told himself this was routine, standard protocol, nothing personal. Liar. He scrolled through the details. Veronica Andrews, age 29, no criminal record, no debt, no suspicious associations. He kept reading. Frequent locations: home, walking distance from office, coffee shop on 5th Street, gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He paused. Wait, he already knew that. The coffee shop, she always arrived with the same cup, caramel latte, extra foam. The gym schedule, she mentioned it once, casually, 2 years ago. He remembered. His jaw tightened. Recent social activity: dinner at Sapphire Lounge, Wednesday, 9 p.m., accompanied by... He stopped breathing. Male acquaintance. Identity: Lee Min-ho, former colleague. There it was. The name. The him. Kyungwon set the report down, slowly, like it might explode. He wasn't angry. No. Anger was loud, messy. This was something quieter, colder, possessive. He leaned back in his chair and laughed. Soft, bitter. What are you doing, Kyungwon? Veronica walked into the office that morning like nothing happened. Professional, composed. But she felt his eyes on her the second she stepped through the door. Longer than usual. Heavier. She set his schedule on the desk. Morning meetings start at 9, you have a call with Tokyo at 11, and you went to Sapphire Lounge. She stopped, looked up. His expression was unreadable, but his tone? Sharp. Excuse me? Wednesday night, he said calmly. Sapphire Lounge. You had dinner. Her stomach dropped. How do you... I pay attention. Silence. She crossed her arms. You mean you had me followed? I mean, he leaned forward slightly, I pay attention. Oh. Oh. So that's how we're playing this. She tilted her head. That's creepy, Mr. Seo. It's thorough. It's invasive. It's my job. His eyes didn't leave hers. To know who's around my team. I'm your secretary, she shot back, not your property. He smiled. Actually smiled. Cold, controlled, dangerous. I know. But the way he said it, like he was trying to convince himself. She should have walked out, should have reported him, should have done anything except stand there and feel her pulse race under his gaze. But she didn't. Is there anything else, Mr. Seo? Yes. He stood, buttoned his jacket, walked past her without another word, and as he reached the door, he paused. Your office is being moved today. Her eyes narrowed. What? Executive floor, closer proximity, better security. I didn't agree to... You don't have to. The door closed behind him. Veronica stood there, fists clenched, heart pounding, and for the first time in 3 years, she realized she wasn't working for Seo Kyung-hwan anymore. She was being kept by him. The new office was smaller, closer, too close. Veronica stood in the doorway, staring at the glass walls, the view of Kyung-hwan's door just 15 feet away. She didn't unpack. She walked straight to his office, didn't knock, just opened the door. He looked up, unsurprised, like he'd been waiting. This needs to stop. Kyung-hwan set down his pen. Which part? All of it. She stepped inside. The office move, the surveillance, the questions. He leaned back in his chair, calm, controlled. It's protocol. She laughed, actually laughed. Protocol? Really? That's what we're calling this? Yes. Then explain to me, she crossed her arms, why my office is the only one that got moved. Silence. His jaw tightened. Security upgrade. For who? For you. I didn't ask for security. You don't have to ask. His voice dropped. Quiet. Dangerous. I decide what's necessary. She stared at him. He stared back. The air between them crackled. This isn't protection, Mr. So. Her voice was steady, but her hands shaking. This is control. And if it is? Her breath caught. Wait, did he just? He stood, walked around the desk, stopped right in front of her. You think I don't know what this looks like? His eyes searched hers. You think I don't know I'm crossing lines I swore I'd never cross? She swallowed hard. Then stop. I can't. 2 words. Honest. Raw. Terrifying. She should have left, should have run, but instead, she whispered, Why? He didn't answer, just looked at her like she was the only answer he had. The next morning, a sleek black car waited outside her apartment. Not a taxi, not a rideshare. His car. The driver stepped out, bowed slightly. Miss Andrews, Mr. Seo has arranged transportation for you, for your safety. She blinked. I have my own car. He insists. Of course he does. She pulled out her phone, texted him. This is ridiculous. 3 dots appeared immediately. It's necessary. She typed back, You don't get to decide that. His response came faster this time. I already did. She stared at the screen, furious, terrified, and something else, something she didn't want to name. She got in the car because fighting him felt like fighting gravity, pointless, exhausting, inevitable. Kyungwon watched from his office window as the car pulled away. His phone was still in his hand. He should feel satisfied, in control, but instead, he felt hungry for more proximity, more access, more her. His phone buzzed, a new message, encrypted, unknown sender. He opened it. Pretty secretary, careful who leaves marks. His blood went cold. Someone was watching. Not just him, her. He forwarded the message to his head of security. Find the source, now. Then he looked back at the window, at the city below, and realized his jealousy wasn't just visible, it was dangerous. And the worst part? He didn't care. Across the city, Veronica sat in his car, staring out the window, trying to ignore the fact that this felt less like protection and more like a cage. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She frowned. Opened it. Hope you're enjoying the ride. Boss man's got you on a tight leash now, huh? Her heart stopped. She typed back immediately. Who is this? 3 dots. Then, someone who noticed the mark before he did. You should be more careful, Veronica. Her hands started shaking. How did they know her name? How did they... Another message. Tell Seo Kyung-hwan his weakness is showing. She screenshotted the messages, forwarded them to Kyung-hwan. No text, just the images. Within 30 seconds, her phone rang. His name on the screen. She answered. Where are you? His voice was ice. In your car. On my way to... Stay there. Don't go anywhere. I'm sending additional security. Kyungwon, what's happening? Silence. Then, someone's watching you. Her blood went cold. What? I got the same message. His voice was tight, controlled. They know about the mark. They know about us. There is no us. They think there is. That's enough. She heard movement on his end. Footsteps. A door closing. Veronica, I need you to tell me the truth. About what? Wednesday night. Sapphire Lounge. The man who kissed you. Her stomach dropped. How do you know about his name? She closed her eyes. Lee Min-ho. Former colleague? Yes. Did he know who you work for? I I might have mentioned it once. Why does... Because this wasn't random. Kyungwon's voice was deadly calm now. He kissed you knowing I'd see it, knowing I'd react. That's insane! Is it? He cut her off. Think about it. Crowded restaurant. He waits until you're visible, kisses you just enough to leave evidence, then disappears. She opened her mouth, closed it. Oh God, he was right. Kyungwon, I'm handling it. What does that mean? It means, she heard him take a breath, Lee Min-ho made a mistake, and I don't forgive mistakes. Her pulse spiked. Don't do anything stupid. Too late. Kyungwon! The line went dead. Veronica stared at her phone, heart pounding. The car pulled up to her building. She didn't move, couldn't move, because she finally understood. Seo Kyung-hwan didn't just notice the mark, he memorized it, investigated it, and now he was erasing it. Not the mark, the man who left it. She should have been horrified, should have called someone, should have... Her phone buzzed again. Kyung-hwan. He won't bother you again. She typed back with shaking hands. What did you do? 3 dots. Then, what I should have done the moment he touched you. She stared at the message and realized Seo Kyung-hwan didn't ask permission. He didn't apologize. He just acted. For her. Because of her. And the scariest part? She wasn't sure if that terrified her or made her feel safer than she'd ever felt in her life. 2 days later, Veronica overheard it in the break room. 2 junior staff whispering. Did you hear about Lee Min-ho? The guy from procurement? Yeah, he just vanished, left his apartment, didn't tell anyone. His phone's disconnected. Veronica's coffee cup froze halfway to her lips. Weird, right? Super weird. She set the cup down, walked out, didn't stop until she reached Kyungwon's office. Didn't knock, just walked in. He looked up from his laptop, calm, unbothered, like he'd been expecting her. Close the door. She did, then turned to face him. What did you do? He leaned back in his chair. You'll have to be more specific. Lee Min-ho. Ah, he nodded slowly. That. That? Her voice shook, not from fear, from fury. He's missing, Kyungwon. Is he? Don't play games with me. I'm not. He stood, walked around the desk. I'm simply stating a fact. He's missing. People go missing all the time. She stepped closer. Not people who kissed me 2 days before you got a threatening message. Silence. He tilted his head, studying her like she was a puzzle he couldn't solve. Are you afraid of me? No. Then what's the problem? The problem, she jabbed a finger at his chest, is that you don't get to decide my justice. His hand caught her wrist. Gentle, but firm. Justice? He whispered. Is that what you think this was? What else would you call it? Instinct. The word hung between them like a confession. She stared at him. What? I didn't do it for power, Veronica. His grip loosened, but he didn't let go. I didn't do it to send a message. I did it because... He stopped, looked away. For the first time since she'd known him, Se Kyung-won looked vulnerable. Because what? She pressed. Because when I saw that mark on your lip, his eyes came back to hers, dark, honest, raw. I stopped thinking like a businessman, and I started thinking like a man who... He trailed off. Who what? Who wants you for himself. The air left the room. She should have pulled away, should have slapped him, should have run. But instead, she whispered, You can't just make people disappear because you're jealous. I know. Then why did you? His jaw tightened. Because the alternative was watching someone else touch you and doing nothing. That's not... And I can't do nothing. His voice cracked, just slightly. Not when it comes to you. Her heart slammed against her ribs. This was wrong. All of it. But God, the way he was looking at her, like she was the only thing in the world that could break him. She stepped back, put distance between them before she did something stupid. This can't happen. I know. We work together. I know. You're dangerous. I know that too. Then stop. His eyes locked on hers. I can't. 2 words. Simple. Devastating. She turned toward the door, hand on the handle. Veronica. She stopped, didn't turn around. If you walk out that door, his voice was quiet, steady. I won't follow you, but I also won't stop protecting you. I don't need... Yes, you do. She looked back. He was still standing there, hands in his pockets, shoulders tight, looking at her like she was both his salvation and his ruin. Why? She asked softly. Because someone's still watching. He pulled out his phone, showed her a new message. She looks good in your car. Wonder how she'd look without your protection. Her blood went cold. When did you get this? An hour ago. And you didn't tell me? I'm telling you now. He pocketed the phone. And I'm telling you, this isn't over. She swallowed hard. What do they want? Me. His smile was cold, empty. They want to see me lose control, publicly, completely. Then don't give them what they want. Too late. He walked past her, opened the door. Go home, Veronica. Stay inside. Don't go anywhere alone. You can't just... I already did. And he was gone. Veronica stood there, shaking, not from fear, from something worse. Want. Because part of her, a dangerous, reckless part, liked that Si Kyung-hwan was willing to burn the world down for her. And that terrified her more than anything. Across the city, in a private club, 2 men sat in shadow. One smiled. He took the bait. Good. Now we wait. For what? For him to slip. Smoke curled into the air. He's already obsessed. Now we make it public. How? The man leaned forward. Tomorrow, cafe on 9th Street, 2 p.m. Make sure she's there. And him? He'll come. A dark laugh. He always does. The cafe on 9th Street wasn't Veronica's usual spot, but the text seemed innocent enough. Hey, long time. Coffee? 2 p.m. at Greystone Cafe. Would love to catch up. Sarah. Sarah from college. Harmless. Normal. She should have known better. Veronica arrived 5 minutes early, ordered a latte, sat by the window, checked her phone. No reply from Sarah. Weird. She waited. 2 p.m., 2:05, 2:10, still nothing. She was about to leave when a man sat down across from her. Not Sarah. Mid-30s, expensive suit, cold smile. Veronica Andrews? Her stomach dropped. Do I know you? Not yet. He leaned back. Casual. Too casual. But your boss does. Oh no. She stood. I think you have the wrong person. Sit down. His tone wasn't a request. She didn't sit. I'm leaving. You really shouldn't. That's when she noticed them. 2 more men. One by the door, one near the counter. Both watching her. Her pulse spiked. What do you want? The man smiled. Just a conversation about Seo Kyung-won and how much he values his employees. She reached for her phone. He was faster, grabbed her wrist, not hard, but firm enough. Let's not make a scene. Kyung-won's phone buzzed during a meeting. Security alert. Veronica's location, Greystone Cafe, unscheduled stop, multiple unknown contacts in proximity. He stood so fast his chair hit the wall. Meeting's over. Sir, we still need to... It's over. He hung up, got in his car, and broke every traffic law getting there. Inside the cafe, Veronica's mind raced. Stay calm. Don't panic. Buy time. Whatever you think Kyung-won did, We don't think. The man leaned closer. We know. And we know he's got a soft spot for you. You're wrong. Am I? He smiled. Then why is he tracking your location right now? Her breath caught. How did he? Yeah. The man's smile widened. We know about the car, the office move, the obsession. He's my boss. That's not professional. He released her wrist. That's personal. And personal weaknesses, in our world, they get exploited. The door burst open. Kyung-won. No guards, no backup, just him, eyes locked on her, then on the man across from her. The temperature in the room dropped 20 degrees. Step away from her. His voice was quiet, lethal. The man didn't move. Seo Kyung-won, we were just talking about you. I won't ask twice. Relax, the man raised his hands mockingly. We're just having coffee. Kyung-won moved. Fast, grabbed the man by the collar, slammed him against the wall. No hesitation, no warning. Touch her again, his voice was ice, and they won't find your body. The cafe went silent. Everyone staring, phones out, recording. Kyung-won didn't care. He released the man, turned to the other two. Tell your boss, if he wants me, he comes for me, not her. Then he walked to Veronica, took her hand. We're leaving. She didn't argue, just let him pull her toward the door. Outside, into his car. The moment the door closed, her hands started shaking. Not fear, adrenaline. Kyung-won sat beside her, breathing hard, hands clenched. Are you hurt? She shook her head. Did he touch you? Just my wrist. I'm fine. You're not fine. I am. He grabbed her hand, gently, examined her wrist like it was made of glass. Kyung-won, I should have been there sooner. You were there. I should have known. His voice cracked. I should have seen this coming. She stared at him. This man who ruled through control, who never showed weakness, was breaking. For her. Hey, she squeezed his hand. I'm okay. He looked up, eyes dark, vulnerable. They used you to get to me. I know. And they'll do it again. I know that too. Silence. You should quit, he said quietly. She laughed, bitter. Is that what you want? No, he looked away. But it's what's safe. Since when do you care about safe? Since you. 2 words and everything shifted. She leaned closer. He didn't pull away. Kyung-won. Don't. His voice was raw. Don't say something we can't take back. What if I want to? His eyes locked on hers, and for the first time, she saw him. Really saw him. Not the Mafia boss, not the untouchable CEO. Just a man, terrified of losing something he never thought he'd have. Her. She didn't kiss him, not yet, but she didn't let go of his hand either. And somehow, that said everything. Back at his office, Kyung-won watched the cafe footage over and over. The moment the man grabbed her wrist, the moment Kyung-won lost control, the moment everyone saw it. His phone buzzed, another encrypted message. Now the whole world knows your weakness has a name. He deleted it, poured a drink, and realized he just made Veronica the most dangerous person in his life. Not to him, to herself, because now everyone knew Seo Kyung-won had something to lose. That night, Veronica didn't go home. She went to his penthouse, used the keycard he'd given her weeks ago. For emergencies, he'd said. This felt like an emergency, just a different kind. Kyung-won was standing by the floor-to-ceiling windows, glass of whiskey in hand, staring at the city like it owed him answers. He didn't turn when she walked in, but his shoulders tensed. You shouldn't be here. I know. It's not safe. Nowhere's safe anymore. She set her bag down. Thanks to you. He flinched. Actually flinched. She walked closer. Turn around. He didn't move. Kyung-won, look at me. Slowly, he turned. And God, he looked wrecked. tie loosened, sleeves rolled up, hair disheveled like he'd been running his hands through it for hours. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. She blinked. "What?" "For today. For all of it. For making you a target. You didn't make me anything." "Yes, I did." He set the glass down. "The moment I touched your lip, the moment I couldn't let it go, I painted a target on your back. So what?" She crossed her arms. "You regret it?" "Every second." That hurt more than it should have. She looked away. "But I'd do it again." Her eyes snapped back to his. "What?" "I'd do it all again." He stepped closer. "Even knowing what it cost, even knowing what's coming, I'd still choose you." Her breath caught. "Why?" He laughed. Bitter. Broken. "Because I'm terrified." She stared at him. "Of what? You're Seo Kyunghwan. You don't get scared." "I didn't." His voice dropped. "Until you." Silence. Heavy. Loaded. "You're not afraid of them," she said softly. "The rivals, the threats, the violence." "No." "Then what?" He looked at her, really looked at her, like she was the answer and the question. "Losing you." 3 syllables. That was all it took. Her walls crumbled. "Kyunghwan," he continued, "I've built empires, survived wars, buried enemies, and none of it has scared me the way you do." She stepped closer. He didn't move. "Because with you," his jaw tightened, "I have something to lose, and men like me, we don't survive that kind of weakness." "Stop calling it weakness." "Then what is it?" She reached up, touched his face. His eyes closed at the contact. "It's human." He exhaled shakily, and when he opened his eyes again, she saw everything. The control he'd lost, the fear he couldn't hide, the man beneath the monster. "I can't promise you safety," he whispered. "I know. I can't promise you normal. I don't want normal." "Veronica," his hand covered hers, "if you stay, your life will never be the same." "Good." His breath hitched. She rose on her toes, slowly, giving him time to stop her. He didn't. Her lips brushed his, soft, tentative, deliberate. He froze. Every muscle in his body went rigid, like he was afraid one wrong move would shatter this. She kissed him again, firmer this time, and that's when he broke. His hands found her waist, pulled her closer, kissed her back like she was oxygen, like he'd been drowning and she was air. It wasn't wild, wasn't desperate. It was careful, restrained. Like he was memorizing every second, every breath, every heartbeat. When they finally pulled apart, he rested his forehead against hers, eyes still closed. "Tell me to stop." "No, Veronica." I said no. He opened his eyes, searched hers. "You don't know what you're choosing." "Yes, I do." "Do you?" His grip tightened. "Because once we cross this line, there's no going back, no safe distance, no exit strategy." "I don't want one." "You should." "Too bad." He stared at her, and then he smiled. Not his cold, calculated smile, a real one, small, fragile, genuine. "You're insane." "Probably," she smiled back. "But so are you." "I know." He kissed her again, slower this time, deeper, like a promise and a warning. When he pulled back, his voice was raw. "If you stay, I can't guarantee your safety." "I don't need guarantees. You deserve them." "What I deserve," she looked him straight in the eye, "is the truth, and you've given me that." He exhaled slowly. "The truth is dangerous." "So are you." She traced his jaw. "And I'm still here." Silence. He held her like she might disappear. "I don't know how to do this," he admitted quietly. "Do what?" "Care about someone more than the empire." Her heart cracked open. "Then we'll figure it out. Together? Together." He kissed her forehead, then her cheek, then her lips, and whispered against her mouth, Stay tonight. It wasn't a command. It was a plea. She pulled back slightly, looked at him, at this man who ruled a criminal empire but couldn't control his feelings for her. She should have said no, should have walked away, should have chosen safety. But instead, she took his hand and didn't answer, not with words, but with the way she let him lead her deeper into his home, into his life, into the danger she knew was coming. And somehow, that silence said everything. Outside the penthouse, in a black SUV, a man lowered his camera, reviewed the photos, Kyung-hwan and Veronica, through the window, kissing. He smiled, sent the images to an encrypted number. Message. Got it. They're together. What's next? Response came immediately. Now we make him choose, her, or everything he's built. The photos went viral by morning. Not publicly, but in their world, everyone saw them. Se Kyung-hwan, the untouchable, kissing his secretary through a penthouse window. Kyung-hwan's phone started ringing at 5 a.m. He ignored it until his head of security called. "Sir, we have a problem." He sat up carefully. Veronica was still asleep beside him. He kept his voice low. "Talk. The syndicate heads, they're calling an emergency meeting without you." His blood went cold. "When?" "Noon, and sir," a pause, "there are photos of you and Miss Andrews." Kyung-hwan's jaw tightened. "How many people have seen them?" "Everyone who matters." He closed his eyes. This was it. The moment his weakness became his downfall. "I'll be there in an hour." He hung up, looked at Veronica, still peaceful, still safe, for now. He kissed her forehead gently, whispered, "I'm sorry," and left before she woke up. The meeting room was ice cold, 8 syndicate heads, all watching him with the same expression, predatory. Kyung-hwan sat at the head of the table, didn't apologize, didn't explain, just waited. "So," Park Ji-won spoke first, older, ruthless, "you've been busy. Say what you mean, Park." "You're compromised." Ji-won slid a folder across the table. "These photos, the cafe incident, your secretary." Kyung-hwan didn't open the folder. He knew what was inside. "My personal life isn't personal anymore." Another voice, Choi Min-sik. "You made it public when you attacked someone in a cafe full of witnesses." He threatened her, and you reacted. Ji-won leaned forward. Se Kyung-hwan doesn't react. He calculates, plans, controls. "I am in control." "Are you?" Ji-won snarled. "Because from where we're sitting, you look like a man who'd burn his empire for a woman." Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. Kyung-hwan's voice went deadly quiet. "Careful." "Or what?" Ji-won challenged. "You'll make us disappear like Lee Min-ho?" The room went silent. So they knew about that, too. Kyung-hwan stood slowly. "If you have something to say it." "Fine." Ji-won stood too. "We're voting you out, effective immediately." Kyung-hwan's eyes narrowed. "On what grounds?" "Compromised judgment, security liability, emotional instability." Ji-won's smile widened. "Should I continue?" "You'll need a majority." "We have it." That's when Kyung-hwan saw it. The faces around the table. Some looked away. Others met his eyes, cold, decided. Betrayal. From within. His phone buzzed. Security alert. Internal breach. Detected. Financial records accessed. Source, Park Ji-won's office. He read it again, then looked up at Ji-won and smiled. "You made a mistake." Ji-won frowned. "What?" "You got greedy." Kyung-hwan pulled out his phone, displayed the alert. "You've been siphoning funds for 6 months, using my distraction as cover." Ji-won's face went pale. "That's traceable." Kyung-hwan's voice was ice, "and documented, and currently being sent to every law enforcement contact I have." Chaos erupted, voices overlapping, accusations flying. Kyung-hwan didn't raise his voice. He just watched, waited, then spoke one sentence. Anyone else want to challenge me? Silence. He looked around the table. I didn't think so. He walked to the door, paused. And for the record, he looked back. Yes, I would burn this empire for her, but I won't have to, because I'm better at this than all of you combined. He left, door closing softly behind him. By evening, 3 syndicate heads were arrested. 2 fled the country. Park Ji-won disappeared entirely. Not dead, just relocated, permanently. Kyung-hwan's empire didn't collapse. It evolved, tighter, leaner, ruthless. But the cost? He felt it in his chest. The exhaustion, the emptiness, the realization that he'd just weaponized everything he'd built for one person. Veronica found him in his office, late, alone, staring at nothing. Hey. He looked up, tried to smile, failed. She walked over, sat on the edge of his desk. I heard what happened. I'm sure you did. You almost lost everything. I know. Because of me. He looked at her then, really looked. No, because of me. She frowned. Kyung-hwan, I made the choice. He stood, faced her. I knew the cost, and I chose you anyway. Her eyes softened. Do you regret it? He reached for her hand, held it like it was the only thing keeping him anchored. Every logical part of me says I should. And the rest? He pulled her closer. The rest doesn't care. She kissed him, soft, grounding. When she pulled back, he whispered, I need to tell you something. What? I can give you an exit. She went still. What? New identity, new city, financial security. You disappear, start over. His voice cracked. Safe, away from all of this. She stared at him. You're serious? Yes. You just let me go? If it keeps you alive? He cupped her face. Yes. Tears burned her eyes. Not from sadness, from the weight of what he was offering. Freedom, safety, a life without him. When do I have to decide? He swallowed hard. Now. And for the first time, Veronica realized loving Seo Kyung-hwan didn't just cost her safety, it cost him everything too. Veronica looked at him for a long moment, at this man who'd dismantled his empire's foundation just to keep her safe. You want the truth? She asked softly. Always. My life before you was... She paused, searched for the words. Predictable, controlled, safe. He nodded slowly, waiting for the goodbye. And I hated it. His eyes snapped to hers. What? I was so careful, she continued, so professional, so invisible. I thought that's what safety looked like. It is. No, she stepped closer. That's what hiding looks like. His breath caught. Veronica, my life stopped being safe the moment you touched my lip. She traced his jaw. And you know what? I don't want it back. You don't know what you're saying. Yes, I do. Her voice was steady now, certain. I'm saying I choose this. I choose you. Even knowing everything, she cut him off. The danger, the violence, the cost. I see it all, and I'm still here. He stared at her, like she was something impossible, something he didn't deserve. I can't promise you safety. I don't need promises. I can't give you normal. I don't want normal. Then what do you want? She smiled, small, real. Partnership, not possession. Something shifted in his eyes. Relief, gratitude, love. Equal footing? Equal footing. No more secretary? No more boss. He pulled her close, kissed her forehead. You're insane. So are you. I know. They stood there, in his office, the city lights sprawling below. 2 people who'd chosen danger over safety, and each other over everything else. What happens now? She whispered. I don't know. He held her tighter. But we figure it out together. Together. He didn't regain control that night. He chose not to, because for the first time in his life, Si Kyung-hwan realized some things were worth losing control for. And Veronica? She was worth everything. Okay, real talk. If you watched this whole story, felt every twist, every heartbeat, every dangerous choice, and you still haven't subscribed, that's not just a missed click. That's you choosing to be the kind of person who watches miracles and walks away unmoved. Don't be that person. Comment where you're from. Share this with someone who needs to feel something real. Hit that subscribe button like your emotional survival depends on it. Because if you don't, you're worse than the people who betrayed Q-Swan, and we both know you're better than that. Subscribe, comment, share, now.